Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope you had a great day. Let's take a look at some new I don't work here lady stories, shall we?
The first story is called The Last She Heard Was I Do Not Work Here Lady. This happened several years ago. I was a department manager at a major toy store that went out of business in the early 90s. The customers were horrible and I really was starting to hate the job. I was trying to decide to stay or to go, and if I left, what to do next. I decided to join the military and had several months before I was due to report. I decided to work until just before the holidays, then enjoy a nice holiday season with my family. We had one customer who was really nasty. She routinely brought our teenage employees to tears, but the store manager would not allow us to trespass her. We appealed to corporate and they stated that she could only be trespassed if she attacked someone. My last day finally arrives, and we are short-handed, and I ended up staying late when the store manager failed to show up on time to relieve me. To say I was mad was a major understatement. He finally showed up 4 hours later. I clocked out and headed for the door. I was still wearing my store shirt and I turned the corner and there she was, the customer. She had cornered our sweetest teenage cashier and Katie was crying. I was done. I yelled at her to get away from her. She spun on me and stomped towards me, yelling, "Who do I think I am?" I told her I was tired of her and she was going to leave the kids who work in this store alone. That she needed to pick on someone her own size. We ended up nose to nose, yelling at each other. I just went off. I told her everything I always wanted to say to a customer. I honestly don't know how long we were yelling at her, but then she did it. She shoved me and then tried to punch me. I blocked the punch and took her to the ground. I told Katie to call the police, and after they viewed the video and saw that she had attacked me, she was trespassed from the store. I told the police I wanted to press charges. And as the police started to walk her to the front of the store, I got on the loudspeaker and told all the employees to get to the front of the store. They rushed up in time to see her in cuffs being led out by the police. I yelled over the loudspeaker that she formally trespassed, "Merry Christmas." She yelled back that she was calling corporate and would get me fired. The last thing she heard as she went out the front door was me yelling, "Good luck with that. I don't work here lady." Other employees told me when I came to pick up my last check that it was awesome to watch. The next story is called Wrong Number. I used to work for a winery in California back around 2004. Our 800 number was very similar to both State of Connecticut Tax Division and Dell Canada French Tech Support. We would occasionally get people who misdialed, asking about their tax forms, or angry Quebec residents screaming in French, but it was really no big deal. We figured it out, laughed about it, found the right numbers, and would give them to people when they called. Most people would laugh, apologies, and that was that. One year, we started getting a lot of calls for the Connecticut Tax Division. I got concerned when one person said that they received a tax form and our number was listed on the form. I looked and sure enough, someone in the tax office had put our number on the form. We called the tax office, but they were basically, "Oh well," so we just kept referring people to the right number. Again, most were cool, until this old man called. I answered the phone. "Thank you for calling our winery, how can I help you?" He said, "I need help filling out this tax form." So I answered, "Oh, I'm sorry sir, you want the Connecticut tax office, but you've called a winery in California." He said, "Okay, so transfer me." And I explained, "Sir, I can't transfer you, I'm at our winery in California." But he did want to hear that, "I don't care if you're on vacation, transfer me to someone else." So I tried again, "No sir, you called our winery in California, not the tax office." He said, "So?" And I explained, "So I can give you the right number." But he insisted, "Just transfer me." I told him, "Sir, I can't." He became agitated, "I'm tired of this. I want to talk to a supervisor." But I stayed calm and said, "Sir, again, we are not the tax office. We are our winery in California. The tax office printed our number in error on their forms. I can give you their number, but no one here can help you because we are a winery, not the tax office." He just said, "Okay." And I asked, "Okay, so, you would like that number?" But he didn't get it, and then you'll transfer me. It went on like that for 5 more minutes until he finally realized what I was saying. He did apologize for wasting my time, said he'd call us back to order wine, and hung up. The next year, they printed the right number on their tax forms and we rarely got any calls after that. The third story is called, I'm Not Just Security. In a former life, a few years ago now, I was a police officer here in England. I moved from a team dealing with action-packed calls, speeding around a Ford, and dealing with interesting things to working in a team that supported a large shopping complex. The uniform was a white shirt, black tie, and if I was out and about, a vest over the top, with one of the big pointy hats too. If I was on a break, though, I'd just put my normal jacket on to cover my shoulder numbers. This was mainly for personal security, so to a casual observer, I was just a bloke in a white shirt with a black tie. Cue the moment. I'd just finished dealing with the paperwork from a shoplift and had a hankering for a sandwich. I locked my vest and hat away but left my belt of tools on. I popped a plain black jacket over the top and ventured into the shopping complex in search of a footlong sandwich specified and acquired. I paid the well-known outlet and ambled to a seating area to mind my own business and chow down. Probably no less than 5 minutes later, I clock a woman, the usual type, attempting to buy a sandwich. Now, from her big arm gestures, I skillfully deduced she wasn't happy. But that's not a crime, so I got back to my sandwich. Until, of course, the voices became raised and a hand was slammed on the counter. I tucked the remains of my sandwich in the bin and ambled over to see what the commotion was. Now, as I was working in the team, I was a known face in the center, and I enjoy a long sandwich. So the staff knew me and my job, so they relaxed a little. This really irritated the woman. I quickly realized they didn't have the filling she wanted and she was refusing to take no for an answer. So I asked, "Is everything all right here?" The woman turns and eyes me over. Now, I'm in my early 20s at the time, so she takes me for a security guard. Karen said, "I don't need security, this little jerk won't make my sandwich." So I said, "Okay, firstly, you need to stop swearing. And secondly, I'm a level up from security." She didn't like this. "Oh, get off, I just want my sandwich." She ignores me and goes back to banging her hand on the desk and gesturing wildly at the teen behind the counter. I told her, "You need to stop that." She rounds on me again. I said, "Get lost, I know the management here, so go back to standing around outside or I'll get you sacked." I said, "I don't care, I'm warning you that you need to stop swearing, it's a public order offense." Karen didn't care, or what? "I just want my sandwich, not some jumped up plastic policeman interfering. Get lost." So I told her again, "Stop swearing, you're causing a scene, and stop hitting that counter or you'll be arrested." Karen didn't care. "Don't tell me what to do. You are just a wannabe cop, you can't arrest me, get me your boss now too." She was slamming her palms on the sneeze guard with each word and I think I'd been patient enough at that point. So I unzipped my jacket to reveal that I am in fact a uniformed police constable. Her eyes widen as she sees the cuffs on my belt. I said, "Well, no, I'm arresting you. The arrest is necessary to prevent injury to others and damage to property. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defense." Now, I had no intention of cuffing her, I was twice her size, so it was not necessary. Instead, I steered her, spluttering, to a table and sat her down as I called for a car to pick us up. After another 30 minutes of her refusing to believe she had done anything wrong, I eventually gave her a penalty notice to dispose of the matter. Her non-sandwich swears fest ended up costing her £80 instead. The last story is called, Karen Didn't Want to Listen. I worked for my friend in my 20s. The job was kind of near. We built display furniture, exercise equipment, bicycles, whatever they wanted, really, for a large box store. We weren't employees of the company, we were subcontractors. So we would have to sign in to the visitor book and take a visitor badge. A big blue name tag that looks similar to the employee's name tag, but it clearly says, visitor. I understand the frustration people have. Finally, they find someone working here and are met with, "Sorry, I don't work here, I am just building these 200 bicycles." One day, I will never forget. The store manager tells us, as they're receiving a truck in the back room, that instead of building the bikes in the back like we usually do, we need to build them on the sales floor. So we wheel the bikes down to the aisle that they have set up for us. They rope it off so people aren't supposed to enter, but they do it anyway, and we start to build some junk. Usually, I'm met with pleasant people who understand I'm a contractor and don't actually work for the store. But not on this day. A woman taps me on the shoulder. I grumble because I know where this is going. She said, "Can you tell me how much this is?" And I told her, "Sorry, I don't work here." But she didn't want to hear that. "Yes, you do, you're working here, tell me how much this is." I again told her, "I am just building the bikes here, I don't actually work for this company." And Karen escalated, "I want to speak to your manager. I don't know why you aren't helping me. I want to know how much this yarn is." So I tried it another way. Look, I am living and I am here, but I don't live here. I am working and I am here, but I don't work here. Karen stomps off and comes back with the manager that put us out on the sales floor. The manager told her, these guys don't work here, they just build the bikes for the store. And finally, Karen stomps off, defeated.
Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.